To manage an artwork within the 4Art app, the first step is always the artwork registration. Not only do you register the biometric passport for the artwork, but you also in the same step register its unique digital fingerprints. To do so, you don't really require a whole lot of setup. The only thing that is of importance is proper lighting conditions. Why? For one, you require decent lighting to bounce off the art piece into the camera, so we have enough information to create a good digital fingerprint. And you negate differing lighting conditions and differing shadow conditions. The 4Art app is very good in compensating for differing lighting conditions and differing shadows. However, to minimize the chance of a difficult verification, a good lighting setup during registration is recommended. Good lighting setup like ours here, lights from both sides negate any shadow, meaning we can create a wonderful digital fingerprint. To register the art piece, all we have to do is tap on Register Artwork. We check that we have enough credits in our account. We do, and then we go ahead, click Pay and Register. We get a few helpful tips, again reminding us to make sure we have good lighting conditions, and then we continue. The first step is to create an overview image of the art piece. So we try to do it straight, like so. And then the 4ARTapp takes a number of images, checks which one is the best, checks whether we have any reflections, and then we choose where the lighting comes from. In this case, we have a generally well-lit art piece. We can also add a backside. In this case, we'll not do so. And we'll go ahead and then crop down the image so it looks nice and neat in our collection and the virtual showroom. Very easily done. And then we go ahead and continue. Now we enter the artwork information. So the title, in this case, New York. The artist, which is Dr. Paper. The year, we'll just choose 2020. The material, in this case, we have a lithography. We can also choose a number of different materials. We have a host of differing materials. We can choose as many as are required. So for example, common combinations like acrylic and oil paints, we can choose very easily. Base material is the same. In this case, we only have paper, but we can choose as many as are required. Then the dimensions of the art piece, we can either tap on the plus and minus buttons, we can slide, or even easier, we can just enter the size like so. And then optionally, we can also enter the artwork location right away, but that's not necessarily required. Once we have done so, we will then continue to register the digital fingerprints. As a standard, we have 3 individual fingerprints. You can choose to register more fingerprints. However, 3 is the minimum, because that way, if a fingerprint, for example, was done suboptimally or the art piece has been damaged quite significantly, we can always make sure that we can identify the artwork even then. So let's continue. The first step is to find a spot that we really like. What we can see as well at the very top is a lux meter, which gives us information on how bright the art piece is. It's important to note darker colors. They swallow quite a large amount of light, so we need to make sure that enough light is present. We recommend a range between 200 and 700 lux for optimal results. In the middle is our core navigation menu, our core navigation indicator. It's currently a white circle. That means we are too far away from the artwork. If we're too close, the circle turns red. And if we're just the correct distance away from the art piece, the circle turns green. Depending on device, that's roughly 15 centimeters away from the art piece. So let's go ahead, choose a first spot. Let's go ahead and choose the C, and I just move closer until the circle turns green. The app takes the image automatically, checks whether it's a good image, whether we have a good spot that gives us enough information. We can confirm, and then we choose that spot again, we have an automatic navigation pin being projected via augmented reality on the artwork, and we just keep that in the circle, followed in until it turns green, and then we can see the digital fingerprint is being created, is being registered. Right now, we can also see the circle completing. The registration takes between 10 and 15 seconds, depending on how steady and how well we can navigate the mobile device. In this case, a smartphone, an iPad, for example, works just as well. In the next step, we mark where the fingerprint is located to make it easier to find that position later on. And then the last step to register the fingerprint is to confirm it once again. So we just repeat the same process, keep the navigation pin within the circle in roughly the correct distance, and then the app does the rest. As you can see, it's perfectly fine to move about and to shake. The system is set up in a way that you can use it just with one hand. Of course, two hands make it a little easier, make it a little steadier. Now that we've done so, we just repeat this process 2 more times for each fingerprint. So let's choose the next spot. I'm going to choose the Macy sign here. The image is taken. It checks whether I've chosen a good spot. I will confirm, and then I have my navigation pin being projected. And I just repeat the same process, keep that within the circle. Everything is green. Let's move just too close so I can show you. See, it turns red right now, so I move back a little bit. Everything is green, and I just continue. And now we have it registered. As you can see, it's a very simple process. Then again, I mark where the fingerprint is located to make it easier to find later on. And then we confirm the position and then just confirm the fingerprint once again. There's also a helpful audio guidance, if required, that gives you information whether you are too close, too far away, and what the next steps are, so you always know exactly what to do. There's no real training required. Once you've done this 1 or 2 times, you're going to be a professional very quickly. All right, we're almost done. Just 1 fingerprint left. So let's choose one last spot. Let's choose the little Italy right here. Again, very easy. Let's see if I've chosen a good spot. Yes, I have. We confirm and we move on. I have the navigation ball projected, followed in, and then register. Because of what we're doing is very processing intense, this is, again, not a toy. It is a high-tech tool. It's normal for the device to warm up and to use a significant amount of energy. Usually, you can register between 10 and 15 artworks on one charge, so there's nothing to worry about. However, it does require to take note, but nothing to be concerned about. It's just what we're doing is intense, and it is very, very high-tech. So, last step here. Last confirmation. Again, you can see very easy. Takes only mere minutes. And then we're done. Now, in the last step, we check whether all the information we've entered is correct, because this basic information can't easily be changed later on, because we want to keep everything as manipulation-free as possible. So we check the image looks good, the information we've entered looks good. I register the art piece. And then I can also add documentation, for example, or I can enter provenance data. But in this case, we'll just go ahead, finish the registration, and then we're done. The art piece is now in my collection, is being uploaded to the system right now. If I was, for example, in a cellar somewhere where there's no internet connection, I could then just register the art piece itself just the same way. And then once I am connected again, I then upload the art pieces automatically. And now we have it here in our collection as we've just registered. Everything's here to find, and then we can move on and manage our collection.